Love is eternal. There are inspired messages, but they are temporary. There are gifts of speaking in strange tongues, but they will cease. There is knowledge, but it will pass. For our gifts of knowledge and of inspired messages are only partial, but when what is perfect comes, then what is partial will disappear. When I was a child, my speech, feelings and thinking were all of those of a child. Now that I am an adult, I have no more use for them childish ways. What we see now is like a dim image in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. What I know now is only partial. Then it will be complete as God's knowledge of me. Meanwhile, these three remain: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13.
Morning everyone, please be seated if you can. And thank you all for coming to share this very special occasion. We are here as family and friends to celebrate the wedding of Joshua Paul Anderson and Leah Rachel Classic. Having grown to love one another, Joshua and Leah have chosen to commit their lives to each other in marriage. And so today they are asking to be united as husband and wife. Surely there can be no greater human joy than a happy marriage, filled with giving and sharing. No deeper friendship than that attained by husband and wife. Marriage is not only a physical union, but a divine institution. It was established not by man, but by the eternal God of creation, and derives its authority from the divine laws of God, immutable and unchangeable. When God created life upon the earth, He made human beings the pinnacle of the physical creation, fashioned in His own image. He gave men and women creative minds with the ability to make choices, to develop plans and build their lives upon those plans. Men and women were created with the marvelous potential of eternal life in the family of God. As a loving Father, God gave us the institution of marriage and the blessing of family that we might more fully comprehend the depth of His love for us. After He had created the first man from the dust of the ground, the Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." The woman was made equal to the man in spiritual potential, the perfect complement to her husband. To emphasize His purpose to Adam and to Eve, the Creator did not make the woman directly from the dust of the ground, but from the very flesh and bone of the man. When the woman was presented to him, Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." The Creator then united this first man and woman as husband and wife, saying, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." And then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth." And so the institution of marriage and the cycle of human life began with God's personal blessing. The Apostle Paul tells us, "Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ." The sacred marriage covenant calls upon you to yield yourselves to God and to each other, to hold each other in high esteem, giving honour and respect to one another. Always give preference to the welfare of the other. Love and unselfish devotion are the foundation of the marriage relationship. Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Husbands, to your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In this same way, husbands ought to love their wives. Each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself. Peter wrote, "Husbands, be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the more tender partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers." Submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, to your husbands, as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. And as the church is subject to Christ, so let wives also be subject in everything to their husbands. The essential qualities of a happy and successful marriage are those that express an ever-growing godly love, as described by the Apostle Paul for the church in Corinth. This is what we heard from Joshua at the beginning of the ceremony. It is in your submission to God's love that this marriage will be strengthened and protected. As a loving Father, God wants to pour out upon us his richest blessings. He wants us to be supremely happy. To that end, he has given you, Joshua and Leah, this wonderful gift of marriage. Because marriage is a divine institution, and because we are asking God to join you as husband and wife, it is fitting and right that each of you should faithfully promise before God to accept the sacred marriage covenant according to the divinely ordained conditions established by Almighty God. Do you then, Joshua, faithfully promise and covenant with God in the presence of these witnesses to take Leah Rachel Classic to be your lawful wedded wife for as long as you both shall live, to love her, to cherish her, to honour her, to provide for her, and, as God has ordained, to submit your will to her welfare?
I do.
And do you, Leah, faithfully promise and covenant with God in the presence of these witnesses to take Joshua Paul Anderson to be your lawful wedded husband for as long as you both shall live, to love him, to cherish him, and, as God has ordained, to honour and be subject to him?
I do.
Joshua, please repeat these words after me. I, Joshua Paul Anderson,
I, Joshua Paul Anderson,
faithfully promise and covenant with God
faithfully promise and covenant with God
in the presence of these witnesses
in the presence of these witnesses
to take you,
to take you,
Leah Rachel Classic,
Leah Rachel Classic,
to be my lawful wedded wife
to my lawful wedded wife
for as long as we both shall live,
for as long as we both shall live,
to love you,
to love you,
to cherish you,
to cherish you,
to honour you,
to honour you,
to provide for you,
to provide for you,
and, as God has ordained,
and as God has ordained,
submit my will to your welfare.
submit my will to your welfare.
Leah, please repeat after me. I, Leah Rachel Classic,
I, Leah Rachel Classic,
faithfully promise and covenant with God
faithfully promise in covenant with God
in the presence of these witnesses
in the presence of these witnesses
to take you,
to take you,
Joshua Paul Anderson,
Joshua Paul Anderson,
to be my lawful wedded husband,
to be my lawful wedded husband,
for as long as we both shall live,
for as long as we both shall live,
to love you,
to love you,
to cherish you,
to cherish you,
and as God has ordained,
and as God has ordained,
to honour and be subject to you.
Sorry.
To honour and be subject to you.
To honour and be subject to you.
Would you please join your right hands? And with the laying on of my hands, I will ask the eternal God to unite you as husband and wife. Would you please bow your heads? Our great and loving God in heaven, we thank you today for the wonderful blessing you've granted to this young couple. They now embark on the rest of their lives together as husband and wife. Please, Father, help them to be everything they want to be for each other. Give them courage and resolve to raise any children they have in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Father, we know that no marriage is easygoing all of the time. They will have their moments, we all do. Help them never to forget where they were when you bound them together. Heads bowed, hands clasped together, in submission to you and in mutual submission to each other. May they always remember that and return to it in times of need. Father, you have promised on the word of your Son Jesus Christ that what your church binds on earth, you will bind in heaven. We have therefore bound them on earth and now humbly and gratefully claim your promise to bind them in heaven into this holy union. We do it in the name of the head of this new family, the living Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
This covenant is sealed with the exchange of rings. By the authority of Jesus Christ, I pronounce that you be husband and wife together. You may now kiss the bride. We will now sign the register. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. and Mrs. Josh Anderson.
I wrote just a little something. Here it is. On behalf of Leah and me, I would like to say thank you to everyone for making today the happiest day of our lives. To those who have travelled from every corner of Australia and around the world to be here, to everyone behind the scenes who has made this day become an everlasting memory of perfection and beauty. To everyone here in this delicious venue, and to those who couldn't be here. You have all shaped our journey together, so thank you. We're truly blessed that God had this in his plan from the beginning. This very story, written, so carefully thought out, lying dormant until that perfect moment arose and it could be played out and shared with you guys. We only hope that today has found a special spot in your heart, as it's been truly amazing for both of us. Now to my beautiful wife. Leah. The first moment you entered my life was around 6 years ago at the Feast of Tabernacles. Yes, honest. To be perfectly honest, it wasn't special to me at the time. But I now realise the real significance of that first encounter. That first seed, being placed, I lost my spot now. First seed being planted in our lives. We quickly became friends of one another through the O'Donnells, and nothing more as we parted our ways for another year until the next feast. It wasn't until that following year that we took a big step in our relationship, the next level. We became Facebook friends. And once again, exchanged pleasantries and parted ways again for another whole year. The year to follow was another big year of growth, struggles, stories and relationships, which coincidentally all led us back to the same place a year on, once again. Now looking back on this, you could see that it wasn't just pure coincidence or luck. Someone had it in for us. This time, we both truly noticed the beauty and pure awesomeness of one another, and our feelings began to spark. We were now on texting basis, so it was getting pretty serious. But the real test was yet to come. Not 1, but 2 years later, our texting conversations had died, and the spark seemed non-existent. Then God's hand was seen once again, sparking Leah to Facebook message me on the July 25th, 2012, which is our 2-year, 5-month, and 26-day Facebook friend anniversary, may I add. The timing couldn't be more perfect. We both needed a friend the most, God provided. Now I stand here with you as husband and wife after everything we have been through, ultimately leading to this day when I get married to my best friend. Lastly, Leah, I say thank you, and I promise you, every one of these of our closest friends and family, as witness, I will never stop loving you until the day I die.
Yeah. Now, there is a season for everything in life. There is a time to keep silent and a time to speak. There's a time for love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. The season now past for Joshua and I has been a time for patience. Counting down the weeks until our next 36-hour weekend in Perth or Brisbane. A waiting game with a 2-hour state time difference for me to finish work of an evening so we could talk on the phone. Waiting for him to pop the question. And humbly waiting, yet enjoying the past 8 months of being engaged. But today, we start a new season. a season of togetherness, unity, and love called marriage. And today, I am the happiest that I've ever been because we're starting this season surrounded by our closest friends and family, but mostly because I am hand in hand, side by side, with Joshua. Joshua, you create a happiness in my day, every day, that inspires me to see the best in everything. All while you enrich my life with an energy and a purpose so wonderful, I can hardly fathom more words to express and reflect my endless love for you. So everyone, please raise a toast with me and Joshua in celebration of this new season of togetherness, unity, and love.
Yeah.
To share a few words at this point is Big Little Sister. Introducing now Hannah Classic.
So really, what is there to say about this beautiful, amazing, talented, feisty younger sister of mine? I remember years ago, we went to the same primary school together, West Northam, just down the road here, and it was book week one year, and there was a day where we all had to dress up as our favourite book character, and so Leah went as Princess Leia from Star Wars, and so she dressed up in all white. And as her older, amazing, most talented sister that I am, I did her hair in the braids that you do, the typical Princess Leia braids. And so once we all got to school in the afternoon, we all paraded around in front of the judges, the teachers, and so I didn't win. I don't remember what my character was. I don't know what I dressed up as, but Leah won. Right? She, out of her class group, she won. The teachers instantly knew that she was Princess Leia. And I was so jealous that my younger sister won because of my hairstyling, right? I should have got credit for that. But from then on, I no longer found competition with my younger sister. While she wore big, round, dorky glasses, I didn't have to wear glasses, so it was fine. My eyesight was good. And then while I was acing school in maths and science, passing all the exams, Leah was, had a pencil in her hand, drawing manga and like landscapes and, being all artsy-fartsy and stuff. And then I grew up and I got to go travel the world, and I spent 8 months living and, basking in the sunshine in Italy. And then while Leah, from the age of 15, had a full-time job, had to sit behind a desk, paper pushing, that kind of stuff. And then, but in hindsight, now that I look back and where we are today in 2014, and I don't think I ever had the upper hand on this girl, really. So, because having dorky glasses meant every time she got to take them off, she got to wow the boys. I mean, look at her. And then no one these days is impressed with, distinctions in chemistry when you get to sketch someone's portrait at a napkin over dinner or something. As you can see on her napkin right now, she's done drawing, and I'm sure as she does every single time we go out to dinner, she'll draw on something, whatever she can find, and she's amazing at it. And then the paper pushing, of course, she started at 15, and now she works in a law firm in the city and does everything amazing that you can do at the age of 20. And I get really jealous when she sends me Snapchats of her gorgeous business attire from her business bathroom that she sends me constantly, because I don't get to wear skirts and high heels to work. But I am so proud of this girl and everything that she's done and accomplished, and now she gets to marry her best friend, her partner in crime, and known as this gorgeous boy Joshua, and he brings out the absolute best in her, and I know she treasures him absolutely. And together, they'll make beautiful babies. Although, as that career-driven older sister, if they don't have anything less than a 5-year plan, so although I'm looking forward to being an auntie of your beautiful babies. And I love you both, and Joshua, it's been amazing getting to know you. And having all your boys here is fantastic to be here and support you from the other side of the country, as well as your family. So for everyone, I'd like you all to grab your glasses and raise a toast to Leah and Joshua and the beautiful groomsmen.
As a dad, I've been honoured to see both Leah and Hannah and all our other children grow up over the years. And Spencer's Brook has been our home now for, I think, 24 years. So they were little here, and now to see them having grown. But we also go to the other side of the country. We can go to a scene in Cornubia in Queensland where two little mates were playing together. I realise that's about 20 odd years ago. There was Joshua and Johnny, and they were the best mates. And so both their mums became de facto mums to each other. And so there is a story to tell. So best mate, good buddy, best man. Invite now Johnny O'Donnell.
Hey everyone. Alright, before I do my speech, I got a few telegrams to read out. Alright, first one is, hi Josh. Just want you to know we'll be thinking of you on your big day. I'm sure it will be a wonderful time as you take Leah to be your wife. Wishing you all the best for the future. Love, Annette. Askew. I think I spelled that. Is that right?
Paul's first wife.
To my little sister and her new husband, you've probably been smiling most of the day already. Your face is starting to ache, but you don't dare. Oh, sorry. Man, I'm so blind. You don't care because this is the best day of your life so far. Today is the start of your brand new life for both of you as one. Every day that you're together, you will learn more about each other, discover new things, and yes, you may get frustrated at times, but your love for one another will grow steadily over time, and some days you'll feel like you're falling head over heels in love all over again. Chris and I are disappointed we couldn't be with you to celebrate your wedding day, but we will be waiting somewhat impatiently for pictures. Smiley face. Nugget also sends her regards. She having a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Sorry. Currently from her hotel room. Free food, warmth, soothing sounds. No wonder she didn't want to leave. Have a drink for us, keep smiling, and party on into the night. Welcome to the family, Josh. You've gained 1 million siblings. Love from Chris and Donna. Joshua and Leah, such a great and exciting day for a loving couple as yourselves. Sorry we can't be there to join in the festivities. We could not think of a better place than Spencer's Brook to start your lives together. Wishing you both all the best for your future. Love, Uncle Beak and Auntie Brenda. Is that right? Yeah. Triple kisses. To Joshua and Leah, sorry we can't be with you on this very special occasion. May God bless you every step of your future journey together. We are really thrilled for both of you. With much love from Uncle John, Auntie Lynn, and your New Zealand cousins Tom, Andy, Katie, Sam and Becca. P.S. from Auntie Lynn, I know that I have not been as involved in the lives of my nieces and nephews as I'd like to have been, and I'm sorry for that. Fortunately, love cannot be affected by these things. I not only love you, Joshua, but I'm also very proud of you, especially for the wise choices you've made in your life, not least of all in humbly accepting the greatest free gift of life, namely salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ. And now you've chosen Leah as your wife, which I believe is a very wise and wonderful choice too. Well, that's good. May God continue to bless you with great wisdom throughout your life, with much love and joy from Auntie Lynn. And there's a picture of the family. But, yeah. You frame that. Yes, that's right. Alright. On behalf of Amanda and myself, I would like to congratulate Josh and Leah on their celebration of marriage today. Josh, you are an incredible young man who we both love very much. We know you have found an equally incredible partner in Leah. We so wish we could have been there to celebrate with you today and share in the moment with you both. May you both be blessed eternally with all the luck and love in the world. All our love and best wishes, Sonny, Amanda and the girls. Thank you in advance. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Dear Joshua, congratulations. You're a lucky man. You have married a most wonderful young woman. She is talented, smart and beautiful. Great choice, and wishing you every happiness as you give her the best in life's journey together. With love on your wedding day, signed, Leah. didn't. No, it wasn't me. Yeah. I read what I'm given, sorry. Alright. I think it's the last one. Dear Joshua and Leah, congratulations on your wedding day. Sorry we cannot be there to share the fun, but we are with you in spirit. Seems like we've never had a family occasion without our adopted grandson being with us. He even comes on holidays with us all and lines up for Grandad and Nana hugs and kisses on a regular basis. We are so happy to now welcome another granddaughter to our flock. Joshua, you and Emma have been so much a part of our lives since we've been in Brisbane. From the time that you were both very little at school and we attended both your classrooms as your surrogate grandparents on Grandparents' Day. We have watched you both grow and now we celebrate with you, Joshua, as you embark on this wonderful adventure of your lives together. Some Grandad and Nana advice. Love your wife as you love your own flesh and don't let the sun go down on your anger. I always get told that. Remember that your marriage is blessed by God and keep him in the picture always. Our love and good wishes to you both, Joshua, Leah. With love from Grandad and Nana. Alright. Now my turn. Alright. On behalf of the bridal party, I'd like to say thank you for coming today to celebrate the wedding of my best friend and his lovely wife Leah. It's an honour to be asked to make a speech today. I'll sort of on behalf of the groomsmen. We'd like to say thank you, Josh, for picking us to be your team for the day. I think we had a victory. I have been pondering a while on what to say. It's been all in my head and I never actually wrote it down on paper until last week. Most of you will know that Josh and I have been friends going on 20 years. He is my best friend and my little brother. Oh, crap. Sorry. We have been inseparable throughout those years. We lived 3 doors down all our lives, so that helped. I want to take a side step from you two and thank Bobby. Although the stories generally get changed, or they were at our engagement party. She is my other mother. But I want to thank her for leaving her purse on the roof of her car all those years ago. Because if you hadn't have done that, my mum Wendy wouldn't have found it and called you up, and therefore I would have missed out on a great friendship, which I value. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'll always remember making up secret agent games and enjoying going for bike rides that could last for hours. Even the Catalans games to touch football on the road after school, and on the weekends that could last well after the street lights came on. I believe we cracked a few windows actually. Yeah. Caravan park? Yeah. That guy was angry. He's still there though. I also remember the day I got my rollerblades and I got Josh to come up and he taught me how to skate. Actually, he didn't actually know how to skate himself, but he still taught me. And also taught me how to ride my bike without training wheels by pushing off the gutter and hoping I didn't go the opposite way, forward. We attended the same primary school, and even though at school we had a different circle of friends, that never got in the way. Same with high school when we were at different schools, it never made a difference. As soon as we got home, we would text each other with a message, road? Yes. Reply would soon follow saying, sure, in 5. Then once those 5 minutes were up, they never lasted, we were up there straight away. But I would come up the road with my football and Josh with his basketball. I would even get Mum to honk the horn when we drove past Josh's house just so he knew I was home. It was always a desire of mine to play a sport with Josh. We had played our own sports growing up, but never the same one. We recently got to play TRL, which is Touch Rugby League, together over a period of 3 months. I have to say I really enjoyed sharing that with Josh because I love the sport and my best mate was playing it with me. It was good to test out our plays that we would use on the road in our new team. I think the first try in the team actually came from our plays, didn't it, Josh? Yeah, it was a good night, that one. Josh. Yeah, it's all about you right now. You've always been the person I've gone to when I needed someone to talk to, And even though you now live over 3,000 kilometres away, that won't ever change. You've always been there for me, and I thank you for that. You'll always be my little brother and my best friend. If you ever need anything, I'll always be there for you. I love you, man. As you heard before, they met in 2008, but I feel I can sort of take credit for that. Because 2008, the Classics came over to Caloundra for the feast. Following year, I brought Josh along with the family, and there they met. He met the girl who would eventually become his wife. Although they did not establish the love they have for each other back then, they definitely developed a friendship that remained until they fell in love with each other over a few years later, and now they are inseparable. I remember for a while there, I used to talk to Leah a fair bit. This was back when MSN was a popular use of communication. I think we used to call the conversations our debriefs. I don't know. We used to vent to each other. She was very good at hearing what I had to say anyway. Either way, I could always seem to connect with Leah. She is a good friend. I have witnessed some of the girls who have crossed the path of Joshua Anderson. And I can say with confidence that he has met the perfect woman for him and Leah. Leah, in my opinion, is perfect for Josh in that she sees all his quirks and qualities and she loves him for him. She loves him for them because they are what make him him. They connect so well and it definitely shows. It is easy to see that they really do love each other, and I'm glad that both my friends have found this love so early in life and have vowed to make it a lifelong journey together. I know they will have a rewarding marriage. I honestly believe that they work well together. Not only do they love each other, but they have faith in each other and in God. I might have my brother moving away, but I've gained another sister in the process. Anything you guys need from myself, Brittany or Johnny, we'll always be there for you, even though we live on the other side of the country. That's you guys. I actually want to thank Rebecca and John in helping organise this today. I think it's panned out pretty well. If anyone else has anything else to say, see Josh afterwards. But if you can raise your glass, I'm not going to toast them. They've had enough. I just want to toast to Rebecca and John. Yeah, that's me.
Family and friends. That dessert looks absolutely beautiful. And again, credit to the Spencer's Brook Tavern. Pat Lummis in particular and the staff there. They've really done a fantastic job. Today we have a lot to be grateful for, and no day would be complete unless a few words of thank yous. These are not complete, a long list. There's a lot of people in my heart today, in Rebecca's heart, and I speak on behalf of myself and my wife Rebecca, and probably all of us here today. We have so much to be grateful for, and I want to thank everyone who's travelled from near and far to be here. We have people who have come here from the United States. We have people who've travelled from Perth. We have people who've travelled from Queensland. And we are really grateful because, as somebody commented to me earlier, they said, John, there's a lot of love here, isn't there? And I would say amen to that, very much so. I want to, as I look at Joshua and I see how he's grown and matured, I can't help but reference him to his mum. And I want to say thank you, Bobby, and I want to thank you for all that you've invested in his life and the proudness and the joy that you have for your son Joshua. And also, a thank you to Ben and Emma, Joshua's sister, Bobby's daughter, and Ben have travelled here to be here as well, and we appreciate complimenting it. I also want to say thanks to the celebrant, Kerry Gubb. He goes back a long way. I may have been 17, he may have been 22. That's a long time ago. And so the connection, ironically, amazingly, is after all these years, we sense the strings of how we are tied, and he knew Joshua when he was a little boy growing up and all the rest of it. And I want to thank and say thank you, Carrie, for coming and being here today. I want to say thank you to John and Wendy. In the last few years, every time we've gone to Queensland, it's like being with family again. And they've come over as well to celebrate because they're really... Joshua's their other son in that sort of sense, and we're all family, and so thanks John and Wendy for being here today. I'd like to also thank Johnny and Brittany and little Johnny, because it's wonderful when best mates cherish a friendship and that friendship over the years becomes stronger, and we sense that, and so thanks for being here today. Friendship is by no means complete, because if you look further along the table, you have Ben and Irwin. They're really good mates, and so thank you, Ben, and thank you, Irwin, for coming and supporting Joshua on this fantastic day. Closer to home is our daughter Hannah. She has come to Western Australia. She lives and works in Sydney, and this is her second trip this month to be here for a wedding. So thank you, Hannah, for travelling across and being here. It's absolutely fantastic. From further afield, I want to say a special thank you to Linda and her family. She came out here to be for Alex and Jessica's wedding. She's a sister to Alex, and then decided to extend her holiday by 3 more weeks so she could be here as well and help celebrate. So thank you, Linda. It means a lot to our family, and we want to say thank you. And on that note, also thanks to Debbie Rowland, Linda's and Alex's mum, who also extended her holiday. She cancelled a trip to the US and all the rest of it to be here and celebrate. So we're really honoured as a family. Thank you, Debbie. There are many others who's contributed to today's success, and there's a lot of people who'd love to be here. We're grateful. We have a few patriarchs today. We have my dad, and we also have Rebecca's dad, Tapa. And Tapa travelled across from Canberra. Granddad was given a lift here. We appreciate these men who've travelled before us and have shone the light for us, and we're grateful to have them here. Others couldn't be here. We've had various telegrams. And so as a dad, on behalf of Leah, on behalf of Joshua, and on behalf of all the family, on behalf of my wife Rebecca, we just want to say thank you, everyone, for your love, for your support, for your gifts, for your words of encouragement and affirmation. It really completes this day. Rebecca and I were blessed with 6 children, 5 of whom are here. Our Donna, firstborn, she's expecting her first baby today. So, but if I go back 24 years, here we are holding our first baby in our arms that cuddle the wonders of joy of parenthood. And then Hannah came on the scene, and we were bonded as father-daughter right from the moment she was born. Leah growing up, I easily related to Leah, and we connected. Maybe it's the artistic artsy-fartsy stuff. It doesn't matter, but we connected on that level. Then there came Jessica, and in my moment of greatest ill health, there was a little joy of contentment and joy entered our life, and we celebrated her wedding just 3 weeks ago. And then our son Joshua, tall and strapping, and the man about the place. And then our youngest daughter, who loves Doctor Who, Emma. And there's a lot of other Doctor Who fans who, so everyone's so different. But today our focus is on our daughter Leah. And Leah, for me as a dad, there's so much in letting go and letting God. And it's so full of emotion and joy and sentimentality. Who was it this week that got the old family album out and flicking pages and looking at old JPEGs of when Leah was a little girl? And they're really wonderful memories. I remember her. A lot of people have commented about our mud brick house and asked a lot of questions. Well, when I was making the mud bricks, it took 18 months and a cement mixer and a few friends who came and helped. And a little girl in a bassinet who used to sit there watching the cement mixer going round and round and round like that. Wonderful memories. And then when we moved to Perth, we left here for a few years. There's several times we sat on the banks of the Swan River, and Leah was so engrossed with her paints, doing a painting scene. It didn't bother the other kids, but Leah really enjoyed that. And because I grew up with a little bit of art in my blood, it was beautiful to see. I remember Leah going to the Bellevue Park and throwing polystyrene aeroplanes around and gliding through the air. It was the days before we had LiPo batteries and remote control. And we used to have a lot of fun. I used to see her walking off once a week to piano lessons. And she had to walk across a bit of a gully and a creek and across a lawn. And I used to worry over her, and I would always be glad to see her come home. And then instead of practicing the music, she was improvising on the keyboard. And every note I clung to because I could see the musical talent coming out there as well. And so not only does she have an ear for music and an eye for art, but she also can carry herself in public speaking, and it's wonderful to see. When she was 15 years old, She and I completed the Outward Bound course in the Southwest Wilderness for 9 days. It was a family course between parents and teenagers. And I saw her come to her own there when she was a leader among other youth, chopping up vegetables, sitting on the ground, cooking, and really enjoyed that bonding time that probably in our busy life sometimes eclipses us. So Leah, I really cherish that and thank God for the opportunity. In more recent times, I've enjoyed the window of teaching her to ride a motorcycle. I've been an old biker for many years, and I remember spending time with Hannah and now Leah. And she passed her licence just recently, and she said to me, "Dad, you're right. He picked me up on the high-speed braking thing." She didn't like high-speed braking, because I remember both the accidents that I had if I'd only learned how to brake. So she's enjoying that. And last year, to cap it all off, we were in Queensland in a similar situation like this with family and friends, and to see her become baptised. And as a dad, I was just so glad to see the young girl develop wings and fly, and I'm really grateful for that. And we see in her an emergence of a witty, a wonderful, a loving, godly young woman. And Joshua, we're so glad for her for you to hold her heart and her hand. And really wonderful. She is her own person. She has her own uniqueness, and she has a beautiful heart for people, for dreams, for just absolutely wonderful. And I'm losing words here. There's a clever complexity about Leah. You notice there's cards on the table, there's seed packets on the table. Many years ago, if you notice where all the cars were parked in our backyard, Leah used to get a big long stick and draw big pictures and faces and scribbles. So she didn't only restrict it to tablecloths at restaurants. So one day it became Mother's Day, and she gave Rebecca the biggest Mother's Day card ever. It was a great big smiley face, 8 metres wide, with Happy Mother's Day in letters about 2 metres tall. So I climbed up on the roof of the house to photograph it because I thought it was quite an achievement. Well, a few years went on, and it became my turn to receive something memorable. So it was Father's Day. She must have been about 18, 15, I can't remember. And so I still have that card, because on the front of the card were the most memorable words ever. The words were, "What's inside a dad's brain?" I still have that card in our bedroom, Leah. Absolutely cherish it. It's amazing how the years have gone by, and the memory is absolutely wonderful. Joshua, to us now, in the last couple of months that you've been here, you have felt to us like a son. So you have several mums now. You have Bobby, you have Wendy, and you have Rebecca and myself, and we're just wonderful for that. I see you as God's blessing in our family life, and I've enjoyed lifting paving blocks and moving sand and doing stuff that blokes like doing together. And but I know that as a dad, some years ago, I took it upon myself not to allow random happenstance, because, mate, with beautiful daughters, there's plenty of four-wheel drives that I don't recognise the number plates that come and park in the driveway. And as a dad, I'm going, who is this time? But Joshua, you caught my heart's attention in Queensland a few years ago, not because of your dashing looks or because you ride a Honda, but because at the CSA conference in Queensland, I'd given a morning address, similar in an environment like this today, and Joshua with a couple other young men came up to me, teenagers, and they said how much they appreciated the message. And I went, wow. He said it had really spoken to his heart. And for me, I was really grateful for that. I see in Joshua something that I see in myself. When I was a boy, somebody said, "John, you'll make a really good dad." And I wondered why, because I was always playing with soft toys and animating them and giving them squeaky voices, etc., and animating children. Or entertaining children. Well, since we've been here, Bobby, Joshua didn't learn from me, but he gets a soft toy and he animates it and gives it a squeaky voice, and it's not just the children who are entertained. So it was really, really just kind of beautiful in a way, Joshua, and how it just comes out naturally. Joshua, when a father sees his daughter with a fully fledged set of wings, there's nothing more beautiful than to be able to see his daughter fly, and fly well. And today, Joshua, Rebecca and I are really honoured and glad to call you son, as you hold Leah's heart and hand. And together we love you and bless you and thank God with all our hearts. And my blessing is, may the Lord bless you both. May he prosper you, guide you, hold you, provide for you. May your territory be both enlarged. May his spirit be upon you. And may you both shine as lights. And as I look at Joshua, I know he gets his looks from his mum. And so I would like to, at this point, propose a toast. If we charge our glasses to his mum and Dad Peter, to Bobby and Peter. Thank you. And at this point, it's very apropos if I could ask Bobby to share with us the last set of words for today. Thank you, Bobby.
Hello everyone. As you know, I am Bobby Anderson, Josh's mum, mother of the groom, Josh Man Dossels. Oh, Josh Man Dossels. Is that better? My lovely daughter Emma and I are so thrilled to be here today to share this wonderful celebration. My amazing son Josh was married the woman of his dreams, the beautiful Leah. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Good. I don't like public speaking, so don't look at me. For many years, I felt that I was a woman of Joshua's dreams. After all, I was the one washing for him, cleaning for him, supporting him, feeding him, and putting up with him. And I guess that's your job now, Leah. Thank you, Wendy, by the way. Joshua has always had a beautiful soul. He really has. I had him when I was 40. Hard to believe. I'm only 52. And so he was a surprise, but one of the best thing that ever happened to me, apart from Emma, of course. And he's always been honest and open in his character. He's one of the gentlest young men that I know, and of course very handsome. Leah, you are welcomed into our family, and Emma and I are so very proud of the choice that Joshua has made. I remember when he told me that he held you for the first time and he had this love, this feeling he just knew straight away. That was, I think, October of last year or the year before. And he knew straight away that he wanted to marry you, even though he's only a 19-year-old little baby. So, you've always been great friends, and now your friendship has grown into what will well be a lifelong union. We look forward to the future as our family grows. I want babies soon, thank you. Yeah, although it's difficult for Emma and I to be so far away from you both, rest assured you're always in our thoughts, and we are really only a phone call or Skype away. All the Facebooking stuff, whatever. I'd like to thank my bro Paul over here, the one with the big nose and the mo. Sorry, Paul. Joshua's, he says that his moustache is bigger than mine. Joshua's godfather for travelling this long distance to share Joshua's wedding day. And also Emma's wonderful partner Ben, just here, in the pink shirt. He's joined us to celebrate with his little brother. And on behalf of Joshua's father's Peter, I'd like to wish you both a wonderful future together. I trust you remain just as happy as you are today. Added a few bits here. And also Rebecca, the runners that you made by hand, amazing. And the buntings, absolutely wonderful, great memory. Plus the way they match up with Joshua's tie. That's just a little bit of trivia. I'm good at that. I also want to thank the rest of our family, the Odes, Johnny, Wendy, the O'Donnells over there in the pink, etc., for all the support, the love. We've been through so many situations together, haven't we, Wendy? I've saved your children's lives many times. And also for introducing Joshua and Leah all those many years ago. So what words, I've nearly finished, Josh, don't worry. What words of wisdom can I offer you? I bet that statement has you holding your breath, because I have been known to be rather a loose cannon, to put it mildly. People wait, but I'm going to be good. I'm a lady, although any more toast I might not have been. So, you know, when it comes to putting things into words, I can be a loose cannon. But Joshua said to me when he was going to marry Leah, he said, I want to be surrounded by lovely people. I thought that was a wonderful thing to say. So, you know, you're all family. So what I would like to say is this, Joshua and Leah, keep laughing, keep talking, keep listening, keep loving, keep sharing, keep hoping, keep apologising, although Leah's always right, Joshua. Seriously, the woman is always right. Keep forgiving, keep together, work hard, don't worry, there's only a little bit on this page. Work hard together, never stop giving 100% in all that you do with each other. And as your family grows, with my grandchildren, remember that the most important person in the world to each of you is each other, so don't get distracted. Remember, you've been blessed immensely in your lives, and never forget where that comes from. You're a beautiful couple, and Emma and I are so proud to see you join as husband and wife. We love you and wish you every happiness. Tissues now, everyone. And, yeah. So I've got boogers? No. Question and answers, if, any questions, whatever. So, welcome.
Thank you to everybody who's contributed to this morning and this afternoon, to the speeches, to the laughter, to the well wishes, to everything that's made this day so memorable. Absolutely wonderful. Outside there's a limo, and that indicates that events are moving on. So what we'd like to do, as we arrange the final farewell for Joshua and Leah, we'd like you to gather and form a line, 2 lines down the centre here and working your way out, and it gives a wonderful opportunity for the final hugs and kisses and farewells and blessings, and somebody tells me there's going to be a throwing of a bouquet. So enjoy the farewell. Now at the end as they leave, we're going to have a great big hip hip hooray. Now those who would like to come to our home just down the road where we began this morning are welcome to join us for coffee and sit down and relax. So let's begin to form that line and wish Joshua and Leah a wonderful journey ahead. Thank you everyone.